this investigative report by the cable's open source intelligence analysis, which revealed that certain social media echo chambers affiliated with the indigenous peoples of Biafra have played significant roles in amplifying claims of a Christian genocide in Nigeria. Well, according to the cable, data from X showed that between January 1st and October 1st, 2025, there were approximately 165,000 mentions of the topic, reaching an estimated 2.83 billion people, a figure more than 12 times Nigeria's population. Four prominent hashtags emerged: hashtag Christian Genocide, Truth Nigeria, Lara Logan, and Biafra Exit Now, which was an unusual part of...
So, my people, the talk around Nigeria these past few days has been very hot. Everywhere you turn online, people are reacting to one big statement. Tinubu's spokesman, Daniel Bwala, has come out to accuse IPOB of being behind the loud claims that there's a Christian genocide going on in Nigeria. He said some religious leaders were misled by what he called propaganda, and that the story has even reached the ears of foreign powers, like former US President Donald Trump. Now, let's slow it down and look at how all this started. A few days ago, Donald Trump made a strong remark about Nigeria. He talked about possible military steps and even cutting aid because of what he called the killing of Christians in Nigeria. That statement traveled fast. It spread on social media like wildfire. People began to panic, saying, "Is America planning something against Nigeria?" Others started to question if the story was even true. Then, from the presidential side, Daniel Bwala spoke up. He said this whole idea of a Christian genocide is being pushed by IPOB and some of their supporters abroad. He claimed that IPOB people, through different groups and online platforms, have been telling foreign countries that the Nigerian government is fighting Christians. According to him, this is a deliberate effort to paint Nigeria black in the eyes of the world. But what really caught everyone's attention was when Bwala said that even some respected pastors and religious leaders believed these claims without checking the full facts. He said they were following IPOB propaganda without knowing that the story had been twisted. This part of his statement caused mixed reactions because it involved church leaders and emotions ran high. Some people agreed with him and said, yes, too many people share stories online without knowing the truth. Others said he should not have used such words because the pain of those who lost their loved ones to violence is still real. Before we go deeper, my people, please, if you are enjoying this gist, kindly like this video right now and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot and you won't miss any updates like this one. Now, back to the story. Daniel Bwala's statement did not come from nowhere. It was a response to that warning from Donald Trump. When Trump mentioned possible military steps against Nigeria, the presidency quickly released a statement saying Nigeria is a sovereign country.
The report or notion that there is a Christian persecution or genocide in Nigeria is false. False both from the premise and the conclusion. It is not supported by data. All the report we have so far seen, from assessment from USIP, assessment from Amnesty International, from European Union, have all attested to the fact that there were serious cases of killing, but that from 2022-23 down to 2025, there have been marked improvement. In fact, there is a decline in the rate of killings. So it is intriguing and surprising for us how an old report is being used for this type of thing. But we are all about solution, and because we know America is a partner and they've been very helpful, we see it that it is probably a clarion call for us to have a sit down and then discuss how we can forge a common front in this fight against insurgency.
And that any help from outside must respect its independence. The government also said that violence in Nigeria is not one-sided. In other words, the attacks happening in the country affect both Muslims and Christians, and it's not correct to call it a Christian genocide. They explained that what's going on in some parts of the country is caused by bandits, insurgents, and criminals, not by the government or any religion. They believe it's a big mistake to turn a security problem into a religious war in the media. But my people, here is where it gets even more interesting. Daniel Bwala said that IPOB has been very smart in using the media to sell their stories. He claimed that they have lobbyists and supporters abroad who know how to get the attention of US lawmakers and top politicians. He suggested that the genocide story might have been one of the ways IPOB tried to get sympathy from the international community. According to him, this is part of their larger plan to pressure the Nigerian government. Now, this accusation is heavy. If it's true, it means IPOB is playing a very strategic game. If it's not true, it means someone is trying to blame them for something they didn't do. Either way, the talk has gone viral and people are picking sides. Let's be honest, violence in Nigeria is real. There are communities in the north, in the middle belt, and even in the south that have suffered deeply. Many people have lost their lives and families are still in pain. But experts say it's wrong to label it as a war between Christians and Muslims because in some attacks, both sides have been victims. What makes the situation confusing is that bad people use religion as a cover for their crimes. At this point, I want you to pause and think, do you believe IPOB can really influence someone like Donald Trump? Do they have that kind of power or international reach? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you have not done that yet. I really appreciate your support. Now, while all this was going on, there were reports that President Tinubu might meet with Donald Trump soon to clear the air. If that meeting happens, it could calm the tension and help the world understand Nigeria's position better. The presidency has said they are open to any conversation as long as it respects Nigeria's sovereignty. They also said they are ready to work with the US on intelligence sharing and security cooperation, but they won't accept any interference that undermines the country's authority. Meanwhile, back home, religious bodies have been reacting too.
The discourse, Confidence McHarry, a senior geopolitics analyst at SBM Intelligence, stated that the story about Christian genocide in Nigeria was initiated by IPOB as far back as 2016. The analysis found that X accounts promoting Biafra and Nnamdi Kanu were the most vocal online, particularly those supporting IPOB's separation from Nigeria. The cable also found that U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, who has pushed for sanctions against Nigeria, received $1.8 billion in donations from IPAC, a pro-Israel lobbying group. This investigation...
The Christian Association of Nigeria, KN, has been calling for calm and asking both sides to focus on peace. Some pastors said, yes, Christians have suffered, but we should not allow foreign politicians to use our pain for their own interests. Muslim leaders also said they reject any form of violence in the name of religion. The message from both sides is clear. No one wants Nigeria to be divided. But Daniel Bwala's statement keeps trending because of how bold it was. He said IPOB's propaganda has gone too far and that Nigerians must be careful not to spread unverified claims. He warned that such stories could lead to more division and even attract unwanted international pressure. You see, this matter touches many sides: politics, religion, security, and even international diplomacy. It shows how quickly one narrative can shape global perception. One day, a statement appears online. The next day, it becomes a major issue between nations. That's the power of information, and that's why everyone must be careful. Now think about it. If Trump's comment leads to sanctions or military threats, who will suffer? It's ordinary Nigerians. That's why both the government and many citizens are saying that issues like these should be handled with facts, not emotions. But here's another interesting part. Some people online are saying Bwala's statement might also be a way to push back against critics of the government. They say maybe the presidency is using this moment to remind people that not every bad story about Nigeria is true. They believe it's a strategy to protect the country's image. Whether that's true or not, one thing is clear. This story has opened a new chapter in Nigeria's relationship with the US and with international media. Before I continue this gist, please, once again, like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next update. Now, from
reveals, complex layers of international politics, separatist agendas, and religious narratives intersecting in Nigeria's security discourse. Rufai, we're hearing that IPOB is one of the, groups that have promoted this hashtag Christian genocide. But I mean, we have seen major killings. But before I come to you, I'll take this story. Meanwhile, the Christian Association of Nigeria has faulted the statement released by a special advisor to the president on policy communication, Daniel Bwala, after a meeting with the association in Abuja. The dispute centers on how Bwala characterized CAN's position on allegations of Christian genocide in Nigeria on Monday.
From everything we've seen, one key lesson stands out. Information is powerful. A single tweet, a single post, or a single statement can change how millions of people view a country. That's why it's important for Nigerians, both at home and abroad, to share verified stories, not rumors. Because when wrong information spreads, it can make things worse for everyone. Another point Bwala made was that religious leaders should be more careful. He said they have a strong influence, and when they repeat unverified claims, it can inflame emotions. Many people respect their pastors and imams, so whatever they say spreads quickly. He advised them to always confirm stories before speaking publicly about them. On the other side, some people are saying Bwala's comment about religious leaders was too harsh. They said the church and other faith groups have played big roles in bringing peace to communities, so they should not be blamed. They believe the government should focus on ending insecurities rather than pointing fingers. As you can see, my people, this is a complicated situation. It's not black and white. There's truth on different sides.
And there's emotion everywhere. But in the middle of all this, what matters most is peace, unity, and accurate information. So, what's next? Everyone is waiting to see if that Tinubu-Trump meeting will actually happen. If it does, the outcome could either calm the storm or raise new questions. Nigeria's image in the international space depends on how this story is handled. And one last thing, always remember that when stories like this go viral, foreign powers are watching, investors are watching. They want to see how stable a country is before doing business there. So before anyone shares sensitive stories, it's important to think about the bigger picture. Please, my dear viewers, if you're still watching, I want you to like this video now and subscribe to the channel.
That small action helps this kind of educational gist reach more people. Now, I can continue the second half of this gist. We'll go deeper into the political side, how this story connects with upcoming elections, and how public opinion abroad can affect Nigeria's leadership.